Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 11. The chapter is called Lord Ramachandra Rules the World. Text, starting with text 2. That's the words on the board. Right? Text 2. Hote.
No.
No?
9:11:2.
What is, okay. T2?
Yatha.
Yatha. Okay.
Maybe it's from a different canto.
Yatha Tarua?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's quoted. It's quoted in the purport to text 1, but
Oh.
anyway.
Oh, sorry.
So it's in how we do. Should I just read? And I mean, we can chant that verse together. It's a nice verse, but it's just not the verse for today. And it's in the middle of the purport. So. Okay, I just read the verses up to text 5, because there's a nice purport to text 5. I would like to read with you. So starting from text 2, you don't have to read. Otre dadadisham prachitim Ramane dakshinam Prabhu Otvalyave pratichim va Uttaram samagaya saha. Lord Ramachandra gave the entire east to the Hota priest, the entire south to the Brahma priest, the west to the Adval priest, and the north to the Udgata priest, the reciter of the Samaveda. In this way, he donated his kingdom. Acharyaya tadhaushesham yavati bush tad anantara manyamanaitam krishnam brahmurhati nishprihaha. Thereafter, thinking that because the Brahmanas have no material desires, they should possess the entire world, Lord Ramachandra delivered the land between the east, west, north and south to the Acharya. So first east, west, south, north, and then in the middle. He gave to all the priests, and then the Acharya. He got the middle portion between these 4 directions. Iti ayam tad alankara vashupyam avasheshitaha tatharagni api voidehi sumangalya vaseshita. After thus giving everything in charity to the Brahmanas, Lord Ramachandra retained only his personal garments and ornaments. And similarly, the queen, Mother Sita, was left with only her nose ring and nothing else. Tetu brahmana devasya vatsalyam viksha samstutam Prita klinadhiyas tasmai pratyapedam babhashire. All the Brahmanas who were engaged in the various activities of the sacrifice were very pleased with Lord Ramachandra, who was greatly affectionate and favorable to the Brahmanas. Thus, with melted hearts, they returned all the property received from him and spoke as follows. I'm supposed to have French translation. I forgot to think about that, and apparently nobody else thought about it either. What are we going to do? Just English, or should we follow the? I guess there's some decision by the temple board. Or how is it? How we do? Help me out.
It depends if anyone speak English or not. If everyone speak English or not. Or French.
The argument was that there are viewers on YouTube who don't speak English. Anyway.
Maybe they're sleeping today.
We can hope that they are sleeping today.
The English is better, so.
It's get better for you.
No, I understand French, but with English, we all international devotees will be able to watch.
Yeah. Anyway, since I guess it's ultimately not my responsibility to arrange for translation or whatever, so since nobody else arranged, I may just move on in English. At least with the purport, because I'm not going to sit here and try and translate the purport into French. And when I come to speaking, I might try to mix in a little French, just for my own sake. Anyway, purport. In the previous chapter, it was said that the prajas, the citizens, strictly followed the system of Varnashram Dharma. The Brahmanas acted exactly like Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas exactly like Kshatriyas, and so on. Therefore, when Lord Ramachandra gave everything in charity to the Brahmanas, being qualified, wisely considered that Brahmanas are not meant to possess property to make a profit from it. The qualifications of a Brahman are given in Bhagavad Gita 18:42. Shamo damastapa shocham kshantir arjavam evacha yanam vijnanam astikyam brahmakarma svabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. These are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work. The Brahminical character offers no scope for possessing land and ruling citizens. These are the duties of a Kshatriya. Therefore, although the Brahmanas did not refuse Lord Ramachandra's gift, after accepting it, they returned it to the king. The Brahmanas were so pleased with Lord Ramachandra's affection toward them that their hearts melted. They saw that Lord Ramachandra, aside from being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was fully qualified as a Kshatriya and was exemplary in character. One of the qualifications of a Kshatriya is to be charitable. A Kshatriya or ruler levies taxes upon the citizens not for his personal sense gratification, but to give charity in suitable cases. dhanam ishvara bhavaha. On one hand, Kshatriyas have the propensity to rule, but on the other, they are very liberal with charity. When Maharaj Yudhishthira gave charity, he engaged Karna to take charge of distributing it. Karna was very famous as Datta Karna. The word Datta refers to one who gives charity very liberally. The kings always kept a large quantity of food grains in stock, and whenever there was any scarcity of grains, they would distribute grains in charity. A Kshatriya's duty is to give charity, and a Brahmana's duty is to accept charity, but not more than needed to maintain body and soul together. Therefore, when the Brahmanas were given so much land by Lord Ramachandra, they returned it to him and were not greedy. So, this is another wonderful example from Srimad Bhagavatam, how one should behave as a civilized human being. Lord Ramachandra is of course the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose activities cannot be imitated. But at the same time, he came to show an example to all of humanity, an ideal example how a king should behave, how a human being, how a first-class human being should behave. They are described in Nectar of Devotion. 4 personality traits of Krishna that he exhibits at various times. If I get the Sanskrit right, Dhiro Datta, Dhiro Datta, Dhira Lalita, and what is the last one? Dhira Prashanta. So in short, in summary, this is the romantic hero, Dhira Lalita, the haughty hero, the proud, very proud, arrogant, Dhiro Datta. You can almost hear the sound of the word, it gives a feeling. Dhiro, and then we can say the opposite, Dhiro Datta, the peaceful hero. And finally, Dhiro, what is I'm missing?
Lalita, you said?
Yeah.
Prashanta.
No, Dhira Prashanta, this is the peaceful. But Dhiro Datta, this is the noble hero. And this Lord Ramachandra, he very clearly, prominently manifests the personality trait of a noble hero. He was throughout his manifest Leela, he was exhibiting such high grade of noble dealings in every aspect, at every instant. And this is another instant how he gave away his whole kingdom to the Brahmanas. And somebody might think that, yeah, he gave it all away, but he probably knew that they're going to give it all back to him, so what's the big deal? No, it's not like that. He wholeheartedly gave it away. And would they have kept it? He would be fine. He would not have had any problem. I mean, he showed that already. He already renounced his kingdom when he was asked to go to the forest after due to the schemes of his stepmother. Even his actually his father. What is his name? His father. He was duty bound to ask him to go to the forest, only because he was also so truthful. He had promised his wife that he would, whatever she wanted from him, he would fulfill. So he couldn't break his promise. But at the same time, he couldn't tell his son he couldn't bear to have his son go to the forest. So he's asked his son Ram, I'm asking you this because I have to. I'm asking you that you must go to the forest and renounce the kingdom. And that was also the day before he was supposed to be coronated as emperor. And so I'm asking you this, but please don't do it. Please don't do it. I'm just doing it. I'm just asking you because I have to, and it's my duty. But please don't go. Please don't. But Lord Ramachandra, he was such a noble person. He said, no, I cannot disobey my father. This is, I will go to the forest, that's for sure. And his father was, he sobbing, he started sobbing and practically had a nervous breakdown. Oh, please don't go. But Lord Ramachandra, he was so staunch. I'm going to the forest, that's it, finished. And he left. And what happened? His father died. He couldn't tolerate the separation from, I heard Sundar Gopal told me that there was one actor in India who was...
Orissa.
Huh?
In Orissa.
You know this story.
Yeah.
He was... first he was playing Nrsingadev they put up a drama about Nrsinga Leela and he actually killed Hiranyakashipu. The actor who was playing Hiranyakashipu, we actually killed him on the stage. But then later on, he was excused actually. He was taken to court, of course, for murder. But later on, he played what is his name? Dasharat. And he actually died. He was so much into playing that role that he actually died on stage, just like Dasharat did in real life. So anyway, Lord Ramachandra had already shown his detachment. So when he gave away his empire to the Brahmanas, he gave it away. No second thoughts, no grudges. And of course they gave it back to him. And he accepted. But this is also something which applies, this is a general principle which we have to learn as devotees. We are supposed to give everything to Krishna. Yat karoshi, yat ashnasi, yat suhoshi, tatasi, yat tapasyasi, kauntya. Tat kurush. Madarpanam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, all that you do, all that you eat, all those austerities, You perform all that you offer and give away. Do it all for me. That is Krishna's request in Bhagavad Gita. And, naturally one tends to hesitate. If I give everything to Krishna, then what will be left? What about me? That is our anxiety. But Krishna also promises that, what is that verse? He says, yeah, the Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham, that's one line.
Ananya Sintayantama.
Stop.
Ananya Sintayantama.
Ananyas Chintayantumam Yedana Varupad Kesham Nitya Abhiyuktanam Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham. If you do this, if you actually dedicate your life to worshipping me, giving everything to me, then I will take care of you in every respect. I will carry what you lack, and whatever you have, I will make sure that you don't lose it. That's something that we need to learn, and how by giving everything to Krishna, to the Brahmanas, as Lord Ramachandra did, we won't be losers. We have to actually have this faith, and if we don't have that faith, then we should at least have faith in the words of Krishna, that if we follow his instructions, everything will be okay. He will do his part. Krishna promises again and again, if you do like this, I will do like this. And if we have any doubts whether Krishna is going to do it, then we should cast aside these doubts and take courage and follow Krishna's instructions and see what happens. Yes, doubts are there. We all have doubts, but these doubts are like demons, Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, and we should slay these demons of doubts. If Krishna says it, then how can we doubt? Are we devotees or are we demons? If we are devotees, we should trust Krishna. We must preach to ourselves like that, and say, yes, I have these doubts, but I'm going to do it anyway and see what happens. This is, yes, it's a risk, we can say. We are taking a risk by surrendering to Krishna, because we haven't got proof that we may not have proof, especially when we are just beginners, that Krishna is going to keep his promise. But if we don't everything, we cannot live in this world without taking risks. We should not be foolhardy and jump off a mountain and see if Krishna will save us. Krishna didn't ask us to do that. But he asks us to do things which we may feel some hesitancy, some fear to do. But take a risk. That's the right thing to do. Calculated risk must do. Those people who are so afraid they will not take any risk, they cannot live their lives. We've seen this down here during these times of COVID. People have become so afraid. If I go out the door, I might die. Yes, but are you going to stay in your house the rest of your life? as a prisoner in your own house. Is that better? You know, and even if, you know, yes, we're gonna die anyway. Even if we try to play safe always, it doesn't mean that we can live forever. It doesn't mean that nothing will happen to us. It doesn't mean that nobody will come and take everything from us. This world is a dangerous place. Padam padam yad vipada. Actually, the only way that we can go on living in this world is by forgetting how dangerous it is. That's why people, they are just fueled by various kinds of intoxicants, because just like if we were actually aware how dangerous it is to drive cars, nobody would go and go anywhere in a car. It's so dangerous. Any moment, some accident may happen. We are, all of us, I think without exception, we know people, friends, family who have died in traffic accidents. Still, we go driving here and there, but it's actually crazy. We shouldn't be doing it. It's too dangerous. But how we do it? Well, the materialists, they go on with their lives by just making themselves dull. Just forgetting, using intoxicants and various diversions, just to forget, just to not think about what a horrible world we are living in. But they are taking risks left and right, because you can't avoid it. But one should not just do stupid things. One should be very careful, and one should, before doing anything, one should calculate the pros and cons and see what is the risk I'm taking here, and is it worth it? Does it make sense? Is there some purpose to this? Nowadays, because people are so bored, they do stupid things just to get a kick. They go climbing mountains, doing so many dangerous things because life is just boring, and they kill themselves, they harm themselves, they end up in big trouble, and just to have some fun. But that's stupid. To go climbing a mountain, just so that you can say, I've been there, I've done it. That's great. That's stupid. It doesn't. It's just an ego thing. I heard about one guy who he did the whole. If any of you know, up in Nepal, there's of course many mountains. There's a famous trek. It's called the Annapurna trek. You start out from Pokhara and then you go. There's a whole from Pokhara. You see there's a mountain range there in the horizon, and you walk around the mountain on the backside of that mountain range and back to what's called the Annapurna range. That's why it's called the Annapurna trek. And then back to Pokhara. So I heard about one guy who did the whole thing bare feet. He did the Annapurna trek bare feet. It's crazy. Why do that? Just, so that you can... The guy who told me about it, he said, you should have seen his feet after that. I could imagine. Hardly any feet left. Just completely ripped up. But he could proudly proclaim to the world, I did the Annapurna trek bare feet. So people do such things. But that's not what we should be doing. We should, when the need is there, then we should have the courage to take the risks that are needed, and especially this risk. We should give everything to Krishna and see if he will keep his word and take care of us. And, we have nothing to lose after all. If Krishna doesn't keep his word, okay, then we may lose everything, but we're going to lose everything anyway. If not before, then at the time of death. So better to give it when all our material attachments are taken away from us by force. We don't get any benefit. We don't get any credit. But if we voluntarily give up all our possessions, all our attachments, then we get great benefit. So this is a very nice example shown here in these exchanges between Lord Ramachandra and his Brahmana priests, his guru, his acharya. We should learn from it. If we cannot follow, who can follow the example of Lord Ramachandra? Everything he did was so extraordinary. But at least we can look up to him, we can worship him, we can make him our hero. That I should try to come up to that standard. At least I should appreciate and aspire to also develop such character, become a noble hero like Lord Ramachandra. We need, everybody has their heroes. So our heroes should be Krishna and Krishna's devotees. And we should hear about them, we should not imitate, but follow in their footsteps. That is what is required. Hare Krishna. I didn't speak any French, I totally forgot about it. Il faut parler français en France. Des questions? Commentaires?
I think he loses foot.
Huh?
He loses feet, I guess.
This guy? Could be, yeah. Just the way he said it, you should have seen his feet. I got this mental picture. See the bottom of his feet just completely ripped up. Yeah, that's stupid. Why do these things? Just because, then I can take pride. There was one Norwegian mountain climber, he made it to the top to some of these, one of these peaks, maybe it was the K2 or something. K2 is not as high as the Mount Everest, but they say it's even more difficult to climb. So he came to the top, but then that's not the end of the, okay, making is great, you made it to the top, but you have to come down again, and that's more difficult. They say it's more difficult to get down. So he actually, on the way down, he slipped and he ended up hanging somewhere on, and getting, cold, because that's what happened if you harm yourself, you cannot move. You just have to wait for somebody to hopefully come and help you, and you become cold. And then he got frostbite. He lost his fingers and toes, and he was in the hospital, and they were interviewing him. Why? Why did you do it? You're stupid.
Because I read that Prabhupada explained that we just want to be the best,
Yeah.
so the people, they can admire us and
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
fulfill all our material desire.
Just like the human Spider-Man, about the human Spider-Man. He's French, actually. I don't know his name. He's known as the human Spider-Man. He travels around the world and then he climbs skyscrapers. He has climbed the Burj Dubai. That's almost 1 kilometer high in Dubai. And of course many others. I saw there was a documentary about him. They were interviewing him and they were asking him, why are you doing this? And his answer was very, very much to the point. Because he said, everybody wakes up in the morning thinking, what does this day have to bring me? How I can enjoy life today? So, in other words, I do it because it gives me a kick. What's so great about it? You're up there with your heart pounding in your chest, looking down. What enjoyment? No, the enjoyment is that he's this center of attention. All the media is out there. People are down there looking up, and nobody's glorifying him. He becomes famous, the human Spider-Man. Yeah, that's great enjoyment for the conditioned soul, but we have to say it's stupid.
And I'm also climbing, but at least I'm doing some work up there.
And it makes sense.
You get paid for that.
Il est grimpeur. He started climbing trees, making money. We can make good money. Because
We can find you a nickname.
huh?
Can find him a nickname.
Fine.
A nickname.
Yeah. Anyway, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
How does he climb? What type of equipment does he use?
I think he's using this, what they call them.
Do you have any other examples of devotees who are taking risks for Krishna? Do you know any other examples in the Shastra for devotees taking risks for Krishna?
What about Arjuna?
Hmm?
Arjuna. He took a big risk. He was out there shooting arrows. So many examples of great devotees risking everything for Krishna. Okay.
So wearing a new outfit on Sunday?
For the festival. Paris.
He's coming on the 1st?
He arrives on the first, he goes straight to do Harinam in Saint Michel.
Oh, okay. So he's coming here on the 2nd?
No, he comes straight after Harinam, he comes in the evening.
Oh, okay.
I have
Because
never,
I'm going
I've
on
never
this.
met him.
You never met him?
No.
But
But
So
he's,
he might give lecture on the 2nd.
second, third is scheduled to give class. Second, third, and
I'm
fourth.
leaving on